Tyndall Air Force Base in Panama City, Florida, is where Air Forces Northern coordinate hurricane response. But in 2018, this base took a direct hit from Hurricane Michael.
It was like being on another continent. It was like being on another planet, like a war zone. It looked like a bomb had gone off.
Lieutenant Colonel CAMILLE CHIGI is the Chief of Operations Training for AF North.
AF North is the air component to Northern Command, which is here in the continental United States. And one of our missions, our number one mission, is Homeland Defense, defending the homeland. Inside that umbrella of defending the homeland is a mission called DSCA, which is Defense Support to Civil Authorities.
When a state experiences a natural disaster that it's not equipped to handle, officials can request help from the Department of Defense. AF North at Tyndall Air Force Base is then tasked with providing that help through air support. Recently, that mission has been hurricane response. Lieutenant Colonel CHIGI heads up a team of experts who monitor natural disasters and prepare to be called in to provide support. But in October of 2018, she was caught completely off guard.
When Michael was a tropical depression, it was a Saturday. And we were home. My toddler, who was not quite 2, and my 14-year-old daughter were both sleeping. And my husband and I were enjoying a rare, quiet moment in our house. And he had been complaining about a stomach ache.
CHIGI was 7 months pregnant, and she dismissed her husband's complaints at first. But then he got worse. After rushing him to the ER, she found out that he'd ruptured his intestine and would need to stay in the hospital for 7 days. It was only 2 days later that Michael intensified.
Somewhere Monday afternoon, evening, we got the evacuation order from Tyndall that said, you must be gone by Tuesday. I think it was noon was the time we had to be gone by.
Tuesday morning, CHIGI was forced to evacuate with her 2 children. Michael was already a strong Category 4 hurricane, and she had to leave her husband in a hospital built to withstand a Category 3.
That was probably the hardest family decision I've ever made, and I hope to not ever have to make a decision like that again.
A team at an alternate location took over the job of monitoring Michael and preparing to provide support if needed. And a small hurricane ride-out team stayed behind on Tyndall. Master Sergeant Brandon DANFORD was part of it.
The building we were in is rated to a certain category storm, and all predictions were that storm would be a Cat 3, and come to find out it was a Cat 5. The damage and the wall movement and ceiling tiles blowing around, insulation everywhere, just the sheer destruction of the storm, chaos and fear.
When the storm passed, DANFORD and his men got to work repairing fuel lines to generators, tarping damaged roofs, and doing what they could to get at least parts of the base mission ready.
72 days after the storm, Air Forces Northern was already 100% missions operational again.
As for Lieutenant Colonel CHIGI and her husband, he was able to be evacuated to a hospital in Pensacola after the storm and has since fully recovered. And she is back at Tyndall. And as the rest of the base continues to rebuild, her team is ready for whatever this hurricane season has in store. Caitlin Burke, CBN News, Panama City, Florida.